Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be on this purple brown smoky eye, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is prime my eyelids with this primer by NYX. All of the names will be listed down below in the description bar. We're just going to make sure to use the primer, and then I'm going to go over that with concealer. I use the COVERGIRL READYSET Gorgeous Concealer. The reason why we're doing that is just like an extra primer, and also it's going to give the powder eyeshadows something to stick onto, and it'll make the colors more pigmented as well. I'm going to use this light pink shade from the Sephora Desert Sunset palette and an e.l.f. blending brush to set the concealer that I just applied, and also to make it easier for the rest of the shadows to blend out. I'm going to use my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer and that same e.l.f. blending brush, and this is going to be my first transition shade. Something nice and soft, just adds a touch of color, a touch of depth, but also will make the rest of the shadows easier to blend out. I'm going to use my L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder in Cocoa in the same e.l.f. blending brush. I'm going to add this into the outer V, but I'm actually going to kind of curve it off, make it more like an outer C area. I'm just going to concentrate that on the outer corner and drag it in ever so slightly. I'm going to use my 24-hour color tattoo. This is a purple shade. It's nice and creamy, and it's also, in my opinion, kind of like a dupe for a MAC paint pot. But I'm going to apply that pretty low on the lid with my fingers, and then go in with a dense blending brush and blend that out. I'm just going to continue that process until I have enough color on the lid, and also until I drag it up far enough. I'm going to use my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer and a dense blending brush and use that to blend out our base. Using the more vibrant purple shade from the Sephora Desert Sunset palette and a Sonia Kashuk 106 brush, I'm just going to pack that purple all over the cream base that we just applied. I'm also going to make sure to keep the inner corner free of that dark purple because I will be going in with a lighter shade later. So just keep on packing until you get the desired color payoff, and don't worry if it looks a little bit sloppy now. We're going to be blending that out soon. Using a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to start blending that purple out. Notice that I kept the purple low on the lid. The reason for that is when working with dark colors and trying to create a smoky eye, if you put too much product on and put it up too high and then try to blend it out, it can sometimes look like a bruised eye. So keep the product low and manually blend it up yourself. Also, be sure to drag the product out from the outer corner of your eye to the tail of your brow. We're going to add some definition to the eye using a brick brown shade and a fluffy blending brush. I start by just making a straight line from the outer edge of my eye to the tail of my brow, and then I tap some of the product off and just start blending that product into the eye. I'm going to blend it mostly like halfway into the eye, and then once I have very little product on the brush, I'll drag that all the way to the inner corner. And then just make sure to blend that out very, very well. We're trying to avoid the bruised look. We're going for smoky, not bruised. I'm going to use this light pink shade by Milani and a blending brush, and I'm going to put that in the inner corner that we left blank, and also use that to somewhat highlight. This is going to be our base for the actual inner corner highlight that we apply, which is my favorite shade from the Desert Sunset palette. I'm just going to place that on the inner corner with my finger and then blend it out with a fluffier blending brush. When blending out the highlight in my inner corner, I like to gently pull on the outer part of my eye. For me, it's just easier to get right in there and blend things out. And I'm also going to use this same shade for my brow bone highlight. I'm going to use the more muted purple from the Sephora Desert Sunset palette, and I'm going to put that on my bottom lash line. I'm also going to use a darker shade, that same brick brown that we used before, and I'm going to focus that on the outer edge just to tie it into the outer part of the eye. And then I'm going to use a nude eyeliner, and that's what I'm going to use to line my waterline. And I'm going to do my liner off camera, but I did that with my Maybelline New York Eye Studio gel liner in Blackest Black. And I'm just going back in and blending out the bottom lash line a bit more. Finish off the look, I curled my lashes and used Too Faced Better Than Sex and Maybelline's The Falsies Volume Express mascara, and I used my duo glue to apply the Ardell 120 Demi lashes. And this is the finished product. Thank you so much for staying tuned and watching this tutorial. Please feel free to leave any comments down below, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for weekly tutorials. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.